Happy second New Year.
Woo! Happy New Year.
This is the first, look, we'll pull back the curtain a little bit. This is the first recording we've done in the new year.
Yeah.
The first episode we recorded for the new year was done before the new year started. People love to hear that. This is like the true Hollywood story of Candy is Dandy.
And what kind of microphone do you use?
And they were never the same after the one incident. Let's walk. This is Candy is Dandy. I'm Daniel Zaffron.
Beto Sisters.
Greg Gonzalez.
And this is Candy is Dandy. And I'm Daniel. Oh no.
Beto Sisters.
Did you not say that already?
The infinity loop that I was afraid of getting stuck in.
They've been saying their name for 3 hours. They won't stop.
So look, we normally, for everybody who's forgotten how to record this show, namely the three of us.
This ramp up is like when you're still putting 2022 on checks in 2023.
Yeah.
This is what this is. We just need to like have a quick fist fight and then come back like, okay, I'm ready to go.
Your solution to all of our problems is a quick fist fight.
Not even that long. One punch.
Yeah, because that's all it takes. Am I right? Well, actually, 2 punches. Me punching you and you punching the ground because you're so upset that I punched you.
He's too fast. I need something that stays still.
But I have a top of the show thing for all of us.
Top of the show to you.
Good New Year.
Oh, sir.
Well, we are doing we're doing a candy from the old islands. From the island life.
The islands, man.
The islands, man, of Wales, man. Ireland, man.
It's a country that tried to take over all the islands.
Yeah. This is actually kind of related to the island that tried to take over the other islands.
Yeah.
We had wondered in a previous episode where we played a trivia and found out that the biggest producer of cacao in the world was West Africa. Because I think all of us, maybe one of us might have guessed somewhere in Africa, but I think we all guessed like Central or South America.
Yeah.
All of us thought that. I'll retcon this. We all thought that. One of us probably guessed right that it was in West Africa. We were all so dumb. I have the answer of why it's West Africa and not South America. It's originally from Central and Southern America, was cultivated by the civilizations down there for a long time. The Mayans and the Aztec, we know these.
We know this. We've heard.
Let's name our favorite civilization.
Pre-Mexican civilization, pre-Columbian civilization.
Our Mesopotamians. Is that South America? Or is that like...
No, I think that's...
Egypt?
Yeah.
Is it?
Or...
Oh, wait a minute.
Middle East.
Egypt isn't in South America. Pangea is not a thing anymore. Come now.
My favorite country was Pangea.
I'm a citizen of Pangea. I like to
We really
tell
had our
people.
act together back then.
Back when we had the world government. So the Spanish came, of course. They put an end to all that wholesome, chocolately fun.
Since when? When did this happen?
What you're telling me here in California, we're not still part of Mexico? They took chocolate for themselves for a long time.
Yeah.
But during the late 1700s, early 1800s, there was a lot going on in the Atlantic Ocean with wars happening between America and England. The islands, man. So sometime around 1820, Christian missionaries from Portugal, who also had their hand in that part of the Americas, decided to find an easier place to get their cacao because, like, there was too much war. The good Americans and the bad British were fighting in the Atlantic, and the Portuguese were like, I gotta pillage some civilizations, and you're in the way. So they decided we need an easier place to get cacao than South America. So they went to West Africa, so chosen because it had a similar climate to Central America, and then a lot of slavery happened. So that's why West Africa became the leading producer of cacao.
To this day. Wow.
In summation, slavery.
I was going to say, like, you could have summed that whole thing up like, well, the reason is slavery. We'd be like, oh, yeah.
Let me check my notes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So that's that. Just to put a button on slavery. That's how it happened in West Africa.
Is this your positive spin on slavery?
Yeah. Look, Greg, I'm trying to get new listeners for 2023. That's our new take. So that's our top of the show. And you know what that means now?
Uh-oh.
We've got the second edition of 2023 Candy News.
Oh, hey guys.
Oh my God, Greg, he's awakening from his slumber. The newsboy is out of his hibernation.
No, not the newsboy. It's Noel Joy. I'm Santa's PR elf. He wanted to send me to apologize for his appearance last time. Yeah.
If you didn't hear what the episode where Santa came on, he said, and this was before we became the controversial podcast of 2023. He came on, said some really anti-Semitic things.
Look.
He just had a lot of questions.
I don't know what those words mean, but Santa's a good guy, and he just wanted to apologize to anyone he might have. Wait a minute. Are you a Jew?
Here we go again. These celebrities.
I never met one before.
With their notes app apologies coming, and they think, oh, I put my foot in my mouth this time, or in case of Santa Claus's tentacle or whatever. And they think they could just come on and have some half-assed apology.
Anyways, it's a peace offering. Here's the news. I'm just going to leave now. Happy New Year.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Santa sends his regards.
Santa sends his regards and his invitation to church, as they always try to get me to go. Well, look, tell Santa his apology is not accepted.
He'll know.
He's a Rabbit fan, you say? I'll take it. I've experienced so many people shocked of my Judaism throughout my life that I just glance past it. I'll take your news.
Bye, Daniel.
He's fine with me. I'm not doing he sensed the guilt in me. He's like, you're fine.
He brought news for me, and he brought you a winning lotto ticket, as he brings to all good little Christian boys. So this is what we got. I like to name all of my candy news. This one is called, and this might be a joke, I've made in another one before, New Year, Hue This. Have I made that joke before?
Can you say the joke again?
New Year, Hue This. Hue.
Oh.
Hue.
See,
not Hugh, like that guy from the islands.
Yeah. This is a written joke. This is like an on paper joke.
Greg, it's actually a homophone joke. It's not just funny on paper; it's funny as a homonym as well.
This would kill on poster board.
This one is for the people in the audience of the taping of the TV show who have a view of the cue cards and they can read it while the host is saying it. So, according to natural food coloring company Oterra and some trend specialists, in 2023, we should expect more candies in pastel and muted and neutral colors.
Whoa.
Hue.
But why?
Get Santa's PR man back here. I've got a new.
Yeah, what's going on? I'm about to leave.
Listen to this.
Yeah.
Tell Santa
that song.
that new sound he's been looking for. Well, listen to this. So specifically, the first half of the year will be very pastel in candy, like lavender and violet in particular, because they give the impression of being healthy and sustainable and comfort and joy. That's what these colors convey. That's what candy companies are going to be trying to
no.
Easter?
get us to buy into.
That's what I was about to say. They made too much Easter candy. Like, how do we sell all this? Like, no, we're going to go softer.
Get Santa's guy in here. What the hell's Easter?
Oh my God. Do I have to keep going back here on this time?
We'll validate your sleigh or whatever you came here on.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so there's going to be that, but then there's also going to be like 80s style vibrant colors that they described as Barbie core.
Dang, so we're going bold this year.
Yeah.
I always thought that's what I would call when I would melt my sister's Barbies. Well, that's barbecue.
Yeah, no, that's when she starts like a folk punk band.
when she's what do they call it? When they go like this in like a mosh pit, what do they call it? Like mashing?
Monster mashing?
When they monster mash. When I go to a
breaking core.
Skanking?
Skanking.
Thank you.
Well, I think it's called the Monster Mash. I don't even know where the original joke is. Now I just like the idea of calling a bunch of people at what's the name of a punk band? The Sludge or something? Who am I thinking of? The slimy rejects.
Did you rip Van Winkle from the 60s? What are punk bands called? The Smellies?
Where are the birds? Well, anyway, this Barbiecore or monster mashing, as you might call it, the thing bright pink, bright orange, magenta. So soft pastels to highly saturated bright ones. That's kind of
so full 80s of
the 80s are back.
It's like pastels and day glow mashing together.
Yeah, monster mashing together.
Monster mashing together.
But why? Thank you for asking. Because these colors emphasize happiness and positivity after what has been 2 full years of sadness and negativity. Inflation.
Yeah, 2.
2 going. Things were great in 2019.
2 going on 8.
Inflation's out of control. The world seems to be getting worse and worse. The idea of these colors are to turn candy into little pieces of celebration for people. But more cynically, it's taking advantage of how people associate colors like yellow with happiness, and it's more Instagrammable.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The revolution will be day glow.
Are we going to be able to afford these candies when the economy collapses?
Well, I mean, I don't know about you, but
The rich will wear pastels. The poor will dark, bold colors.
eat the pastels.
My response to that is, but Debbie, pastels?
What is this from? Is this another Monster Mash thing?
Well, kind of.
A lyric from your favorite brand, the Trash Boys, or whatever you like listening to.
Their first album's the best. That's a line from Adam's Family Values.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to afford any of it. No. To pull back the curtain again, E! True Hollywood style, we got into some bad business deals, and all of us are currently in the middle of bankruptcy.
We gave Santa's PR guy way too much money to spin us good.
I'm here for my money, boys.
Oh no!
I gotta get out of here.
No, this is Santa's enforcer.
Same person.
Oh my God!
Same guy, different cardigan.
He flips his red sleeping cap on the other way, and it has like a Punisher logo on it. So that's been Candy News. Get the hell out. We're not giving you any of our money. I know the transom is broken. It's going to be beeping throughout the show. So for this episode, Greg, you have chosen a candy from, as we say, the Isles.
The island man.
From the Islands, man.
So I have a reputation on the show as being a little old-timey, bringing some candies that are sort of brand
Classic,
bliss, some
Greg.
classics.
He added timey to the end of how we view him.
I quit. But I was thinking, like, what's the most elitist candy I could think of? It was Ferrari Rocher, but like, what's the second most elitist
We
candy?
went into this. Just because something is gold, if it's sold in Target, just because something is
gold and only sold at Target doesn't mean it's elitist.
Don't fight it, Daniel.
it's in the 1% section of Target.
But I thought about what's an elegant candy,
Yeah.
classy, a little bit, from the islands, as you guys call it.
Yeah.
I think, like, where did civilization begin? And I think about
Civilization begin? Where did white civilization begin?
and then what civilization tried to take over those civilizations? And we landed in England.
Okay. All right.
I like where you went there.
We're going to be talking.
Some like to say I landed in England. England landed on me.
Yes.
What, am I the only one who's watching Malcolm X on repeat? Some say the Rock of Gibraltar. I landed on the Rock of Gibraltar.
Candy Rock landed on me.
Yeah, Candy Rock. Yeah, what he said.
Pop Rocks.
Pop Rocks landed on me. Atlanta Pop Rocks. Pop Rocks landed on me. That's
There we go. Now we've got it.
It only took 3 tries. I'm screaming at each other, and we got it. I'm going to be talking about flake candy, which is well loved in England and not very known here in California.
It is. I thought you picked this because you're kind of like the flake of the podcast.
Oh.
Yeah. Guess what?
Oh my God.
Sick burn.
So I miss 8 out of the 10 podcasts, and suddenly I'm a flake.
Some say, we use that AI to fill in for you. Some say that joke rocked Greg, but Greg
Yeah.
that rock landed
8,
right.
9.
Would kill on a poster board. Would kill with an illustration. We're here today to talk about one of Cadbury's own flake chocolate bars. A little harder to find in California, like I was saying, than your Snickers, your Hershey's, but not impossible. Flake is a top-tier, elegant imported chocolate bar that both manages to hold its form and turn to dust when open from its Wonka-esque purple and yellow packaging.
Just like a British person.
Yeah.
But okay, just because it's
Slow burn.
Let that one sink in.
Yeah.
some might say that burn landed on me, but I burned the lander.
Landing, yeah.
I burned down a house.
Yeah.
Okay, just because it's British doesn't mean it's elegant.
I guess not.
Whoa! Don't destroy his thesis like that, dude.
Some might say that this thesis was on a solid foundation, kind of like a rock in Plymouth, Massachusetts.
I guess that shows that I think anything that's important is like, whoa, fancy.
Yeah, you have this image of if it's not from Ohio, it must be for.
He lives in France for 2 years, and so I'm like, oh, important, not a big deal. I don't leave California much, so if I see something from like a keychain from Nevada, I'm like, oh my God, are you the president?
Sour. Have any of us had this? You've had a flake
before.
bar. You didn't even know what a flake bar was.
Yeah, I don't know what this is on my table.
I'm most excited for.
Why is it here?
Yeah,
I've had sort of because I know what it is, but I've never had it. I've had sort of an Israeli equivalent of
oh,
this,
really?
Ooh.
Oh, that's interesting.
which I was not a big fan of.
Okay.
And I'm sure Santa's PR guy is going to love hearing me say that I didn't like something from Israel. But
Chocolate Boy doesn't like flake bars. That's interesting to me.
well, I don't know if I don't. Because my problem with the Israeli one. Okay, here we go. Like I said,
you walked right. Hello, nurse. You walked right into
like
that.
I said, this is the 2023 version of Candy is Dead.
I'm here to take notes.
It was kind of dry. Like it was too flaky, dare I say.
Right.
I wouldn't call it a flake. I'd call it a dust.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hard take, my friend.
So tell me about the flake before
This messy ass candy goes back to the messy ass year of 1920. But let's talk a little bit about the wonderful chocolate spot in England land, Cadbury, and their namesake, John Cadbury, a little old Quaker who was born in 1801 in Birmingham, England.
Wow.
As a Quaker,
They
Cadbury...
had I guess they had Quaker because they came to America. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They landed on.
They landed on Quaker Rock. They didn't land on Quaker Oats. Quaker Oats landed on them.
Waiting for somebody to land. But some might say the joke landed on us. But wait, so why did he stay in England, though? I thought all the Quakers came to America.
Not all of them.
Not all of them could afford it.
There is another.
I don't know enough about Quaker history. There's another. I don't know enough about Quaker history to have answered that. I just assumed that, like, well, some will go, some will stay.
Well, there was this rock.
Oh my God.
But it wasn't a rock.
It was a rock. Quaker. Oh, this punk music. What is that by the Stinkies?
I like that when we get to the Pop Rocks episode, none of this. We'll be so burned out on this joke. We're
going to forget this joke in 15 minutes, much to the relief of the listener.
As a Quaker, Cadbury wasn't allowed to join the military, or at the time
Lucky
anyways.
him.
And at the time wasn't allowed to attend university. So naturally, he gravitated towards business ventures. He opened up his first shop in 1824, which was a grocery shop. And he was very progressive for the time. He hired a Chinese man to work in his shop. He was campaigning against the use of child labor and against animal cruelty.
Oh, yeah.
But Quakers are surprisingly progressive.
Yeah.
That's kind of like
That's their reputation,
you kind of get them mixed up with Puritans.
Sure, but they're...
Oh, thank you for that.
Yeah, people I think sort of
mix up
use them
Quakers and Puritans
as synonyms
when they're really not.
Synonyms.
Quakers are pacifists and Puritans burn witches.
Exactly.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
If you're looking for the shortcut.
Yeah, and the ones who kind of won out in America, setting the stage for America was the Puritans.
It was
but the Quakers were, they were anti-violence. They were
they're pacifists.
They were pretty as far as I'm aware, pretty accepting of other cultures and religions.
Wow.
Yeah, Quakers are like the Bernie Sanders of communities. They're sort of like, well, everyone's sort of cool with them. Like they're not
the original Bernie Bros, the Bernie fellas, because it was a long time ago.
That's very funny.
Let me write on a cue card for you.
So anyways, opens up a shop, but a new idea came to him. And once again, it has to do with him being a Quaker. He abstained from alcohol because he thought it was a major social problem. And he saw drinking chocolate and cocoa as a nice addictive alternative to guzzling
He's
gin.
got to give me one vice.
That was a nice alternative to guzzling gin to get over trauma.
It's kind of like the Mormon thing of like, let me have this.
Yeah, let me have this one thing, and I'm going to go 100%.
What's their one thing?
Soda.
Yeah.
They can't have like caffeine, but they can have soda.
I think they are. They're not supposed to have coffee, but I think they have like made an allowance of like if the caffeine is in soda, it's okay because like otherwise people would be ripping each other's throats out.
The thing that's holding that community together, is root beer
or a big jug of Mountain Dew.
Anyways, Cadbury, he rented a small factory in Crooked Lane and on Crooked Lane. So I don't know how British people delineate that. But anyways,
Godric's Hollow.
Yeah, thank you.
Harry Potter.
I know.
Who? You might know him as the boy who lived. The one who knocks?
I know him.
You know him.
I know him. Great show.
Is he the one that can't be named? I can't remember. I mix up all the characters in that.
The boy that will live in infamy. The one who landed on the rock.
Yeah, did he land on wizardry or did wizardry land on him?
I think we know the answer to that. I think wizardry landed on him. So he started at this small factory on Crooked Lane or in Crooked Lane. He started manufacturing chocolate. And by 1842, he was selling 16 varieties of drinking chocolates and 11 different cocos, including titles like Churchman's Chocolate, Spanish Chocolate, and Fine Brown Chocolate, which all sound like innuendo.
This was like a smut store for a Quaker. Can I get a glass of fine brown chocolate?
You're all under arrest. Cocoa was sold in the form of nibs, powders, and flakes, and had clinical names like granulated cocoa, Iceland moss, pearl, and homeopathic. The business was going very well. In 1847, he brought his brother Benjamin in with him, and together they rented a larger factory on Bridge Street. And by 1854, Cadbury was given the first royal warrant by Queen Victoria, meaning they were the official cocoa and chocolate makers for the Queen.
Wow.
By 1854. By 1861, John Cadbury was out, and his son Robert was in. In 1866, there was a turning point for Cadbury when they began to use a new processing technique using a Dutch cocoa press that squeezes out much of the cocoa butters from the beans without having to use starch, which had been the way to mask the taste and texture of the cocoa butter for years. I guess that was like too much of a taste. It like robbed the sweet taste of it. So they were able to get rid of that because
I don't like, that's like the cocoa butter is like more white chocolate.
Yeah.
Than the, as you say, the Spanish brown or whatever, the fine young brown.
The product of this new process was sold as Cadbury's Cocoa Essence and was the UK's first unadulterated cocoa.
This guy needs a naming department.
Yeah. He needs someone who snaps their fingers. He needs a Don Draper.
Yeah, Quaker Don Draper. Hi, I'm Quaker Don Draper.
Quaker Don Draper.
Peggy, get me a glass of water.
Peggy, I need tea.
Peggy, I need more milk.
In 1875.
Peggy, I'm the one who knocks. Peggy, I'm the boy who lived. Peggy, some might say the pilgrims landed.
No, Peggy. Don't do it, Peggy.
Peggy, please just let me get this out, Peggy.
And Peggy's dutifully writing it all down. Okay. So these last couple of years, the Cocoa's Essence and the new press and being getting the Queen's Royal Royant, this turned Cadbury from a little operation to a worldwide recognizable company. In 1875, Cadbury hatches the golden egg, introducing the Cadbury Easter egg, which had almost become synonymous with their company title. When you say Cadbury, you mean the egg.
I'm hoping to do that in April for our Easter episode. Not hatch a golden egg.
Oh my God, that's exactly what I thought you meant. Guys, I'm sitting on something pretty big right now.
Literally, I'm sitting on something pretty big. There's a big announcement. Me and Melissa, we laid a golden egg. Our sister wife has laid a golden egg. I am not sitting on it.
I want it now. The rest of the 19th century for Cadbury was experimenting with milk to add to the process. They started with condensed milk instead of powdered milk and discovery that Swiss milk was the best milk to use.
Yeah,
that landed them hard on.
We know that.
After playing with the recipe and portions, they landed on their new chocolate bar, Dairy Milk, in 1905. That was the title of it.
Yeah, that's like their that's like their equivalent of like the Hershey bar.
Yeah.
It's the Dairy Milk bar. Again, they still need better titles.
They really do. Well, it's 1905. Come on, give them
No.
Unacceptable.
We beat them in 2 wars, and then we helped them in 2 wars. They should listen to my suggestions.
They should have named it a great creative name like Hershey's, which is named after a guy.
Yeah, a good American name. Even the name Flake is pretty bad.
Oh, it's a terrible name.
That's a bad name. Mm-hmm. It's unappealing.
Sure.
Flakes have a negative connotation.
They do. Yeah, you don't want flakes in your day-to-day.
Well, at the beginning of the First World War, Cadbury was the biggest seller of chocolate bars and had taken over the UK market.
Were they like, like in the Doughboys and whatnot in World War I? Didn't they all have like a block of Hershey chocolate or something?
Oh yeah, they were getting fed chocolate.
I'm assuming the British...
And the British had rations for cognac or rum or
something.
Oh, really?
Really?
They had an alcohol ration
See,
too.
that's the difference of the Puritan America and the liberal haven that is Britain.
They kept them as happy as they could.
Yeah, well, as they died in droves.
Yeah.
So now we land in 1920. The concept of Flake Bar comes from a Cadbury...
Some might say 1920 landed on us. Go ahead.
Are you sure you want me to? The concept of the Flake Bar comes from a Cadbury factory employee whose job it was to fill the molds with chocolate, with liquid chocolate. Once the molds were full, the excess chocolate would spill over the edges of the mold and would fold down into a stream of chocolate. And once that stream had cooled, it would create a soft form of crumbly, flaky chocolate.
So it was just literally the overflow of the dairy milk bars.
Yeah.
Like, let's turn this slop into a whole other candy bar.
Exactly, yeah.
That's interesting. It's kind of like when you fold a croissant and it gets all flaky.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah. So from this observation, the company created the Cadbury Flake bar. I love to tell you how a flake bar was made, but Cadbury keeps that secret well hidden.
Boo.
It just drips off of the vats.
I feel like we already know just from how they discovered
and then
it.
they roll it up.
Yeah, just try to make your own dairy milk, and then when you fail, or the extras of that, make a flake.
Much like Britain has done for hundreds of years, they failed upward.
So they keep the secret of how to make it really well hidden. But according to their website, no other chocolate manufacturers ever managed to perfectly recreate it.
Have they tried the Israeli thing that I had? Because it wasn't good. So maybe they're right.
I need to eat it before I can even
I
figure out what it's like.
I hesitate to lay down judgment too hard.
Yeah.
But I'll just say it. I'm going in with not expecting too much.
Okay.
The name is gross. The version of it I had was not great.
Judging a book by its cover, my friend.
No, I'm judging it by its name. The cover's great.
20,000 Leagues in a Sea, call me back when it's 90. So here in America and Canada, I don't know about Canada, we're not experiencing the same flake taste that the UK is, because while they use milk, sugar, cocoa mass, cocoa butter, veggie fat, and emulsifiers, here in the colonies, we use lactose, soy, was it lectin? Lectin?
Yeah.
And flavoring, both natural and artificial. But
yes,
if you buy this at Cost Plus World Market, if you have one near you, this is straight from the motherland. Well, not my motherland, but
we're getting an OG?
yeah, America's motherland.
Wow. Hell no. I will fight you, sir.
We fought them off.
Yeah.
we all came from Britain.
Yeah. 1776.
Like Greg said, the cradle of civilization. That's why I said to you, I said, can you check the back? Because one of our listeners, the British Candy Connoisseur on Instagram, pointed out to me that when you buy Cadbury stuff in America, because Hershey's has the distributing rights in America, so if you look on the back and it says Hershey, you're getting that American version.
Right.
But this one you got says it is from product of Ireland.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
It's got the
Made
sticker.
in Ireland.
It's got a nutrition facts is a sticker that's added on top, which means underneath it's probably a bunch of stuff that we can't read. That doesn't make any sense to us.
Yeah, it's got a different language.
It's all
too.
Cockney slang. What are these characters? It's in Espanol. What's the hell's leche?
I probably first tried this when I was rewatching Willy Wonka at the beginning scene, and like I always do during the opening credits, I pause it. I'm like, I gotta go get candy right now. And this is this is the same Wonka-esque color scheme of purple and yellow, and it kind of seems like something you'd buy at the Candyman shop.
I will give you that. It's got a very royal look to it. The purple and yellow. There's kind of like the font is nice. There's kind of a good sort of texture inside of the letters.
Yeah.
So I'll give you that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for giving me the graphic design points.
1 to 5 graphic design pixels.
Yeah. What do you think about the packaging? Just to speed through some facts, there are many iterations of Flake, including Flake 99, which is a smaller...
Flake 99, are you out of your mind?
Which is a smaller flake used to go with ice cream, like I guess like a little straw that goes on top. I've seen pictures of. Then
like a cherry on top.
Yeah.
That's a weird name.
Yeah, it is.
It is
to be smaller and call it 99.
Is that not par for the course with how bad the names are for this company?
Then came Flake Noir, which is dark chocolate.
Ooh, here we go.
Flake Dark, which
they hired someone.
Welcome to the 20th century, guys.
We need someone from France who can come up with good names. Qu'est-ce que c'est noir?
Flake Dark, which is dark chocolate covered in another layer of dark chocolate.
Wait a minute. What's the difference between Flake Noir and Flake Dark?
It's got a layer of chocolate covering it.
Okay, so it's chocolate covered in chocolate.
So Flake Noir is the dark chocolate version.
And the Flake Dark is
it's like
Flake Noir covered in more chocolate. So the flakiness is just wrapped up in smooth chocolate?
If you bite this, it's not covered in a layer of chocolate. It's not like a thing. It's just
I feel like Flake Dark undoes the essence of a flake.
Probably. Yeah, I mean, it's like a dark flake covered inside of another. So it's when you get to the middle, it's still kind of flaky, crumbly, but it's not going to be like...
Because you'll see, Beto, that like the outside of this, it really does look like a dried out piece of wood. Like it looks like a knobbly piece of wood.
The packaging is better than looking at a bar of it.
For some reason in my brain, this looked like a Twix, but I guess...
No. I guess that I'm guessing is what a Flake Dark would look like.
Yeah.
It would look like a Twix.
Flake Snow and Snowflake, the same, but with white chocolate.
Okay, that's a good name.
Yeah.
Is that really the name?
Yeah,
Snowflake.
Snowflake and Flake Snow are the same thing as those
Flake
two.
Snow is really bad, but Snowflake, that's pretty good.
They held out just for that.
The 200-year-long con.
There's a flake dipped, this is apparently a plain flake, but then it's dipped in milk chocolate instead of dark chocolate.
Okay.
Flake praline, flake allure, which is plain flake covered in chocolate truffle. They have an orange flake, a flake mint, and a flake caramel, which is plain flake covered in caramelized white chocolate.
Is there a cornflake?
A corned
Flake, yeah, it's candy corn.
They don't have cornflake, but they have flake corn.
Something I was completely unaware of was Flake's controversy when it comes to advertising.
Oh, I've tried a flake controversy. Those are pretty good.
So there's something known as a flake girl, which is not a candy bar. And it's kind of like a Bond girl. The commercials would show one of these flake girls. This is from the 60s to the 80s and recently revived. A flake girl sensually eating a flake bar. And as I read that, I thought, how would someone sensually eat a flake bar? And then I realized that it's a phallus. And I know nothing about nothing.
Yeah, you know nothing about phalluses.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like the Carl's Jr. stuff.
Yeah, it's like a Carl. It's the kind of the equivalent.
Like it's purposely gross, maybe?
That's the thing. It's not. Carl's Jr. is sort of bordering on pornographic sometimes, and you're like, Jesus Christ. But this is just like, it's kind of like Red Shoes Diaries. It's like bordering erotic and playfully
so it's like
overly flirtatious is how I'd say it.
It's
like, I think she's hitting on me, but she's full on.
It's a soft core Carl's Jr. commercial.
Thank you. Yeah.
Get to the point.
Yeah.
Just down that thing.
Cut out the storyline. No commercial, no words. It's just a girl's teeth biting into chocolate. That's what I want to see.
And then the thing says Hardee's or Carl's Jr., depending on where you are.
It cuts to black and it says, some might say a flake bar landed on this girl.
But it's in this girl.
Brought to you by Quakers. Flake girls just want to have flake fun.
It's the reject Spice Girls.
But why? So are these coming back?
They came back for a moment. In 2004, they want to retire it, but by 2007, it was revived. Australian model Alyssa Sutherland would go to be a flake girl, as would singer Joss Stone, if you remember her from 2008.
Yeah. Wait. I might be thinking of Joss Whedon.
You might be thinking of Joss Whedon.
Sexy.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him bite into
You might be thinking of Uncle Jesse. The most recent one was in 2010. And then since then, it feels like the flake girl has been retired by millennials, choosing advertises that feature the candy more than objectification, which is fair. Yeah.
Woke culture, am I right?
Strikes again.
Welcome to 2023. Candy is dandy.
Today, Cadbury is the second largest candy and chocolate company in the world.
Whoa.
The candy employs over 70,000 people in 50 countries and over 100 million Flake 99s, specifically Flake 99s. Over 100 million of those are sold every year. So it seems like the Flake...
Well, they're little.
Whoa.
They're littler.
They're little, so you
just buy more.
Yeah.
They sell every year 100 million, despite there being a Cadbury Flake 99 shortage just last year.
What isn't there a shortage of it just last year?
But reading, I knew nothing about flake. I don't want to say flake culture, but like
I think you know a lot about flake culture.
The reputation around flake. But Flake 99 has preceded the flake bar.
Okay, it's kind of like how Nerds gummy clusters or Nerds rope have outpaced the Nerds.
That's right. Yeah, it's a lot like that.
But the Nerds will have their revenge. But I could see that because I could see like ice cream shops or things like that buying the Flake 99 more than.
I bet this is a better accessory than a bar itself. But I've never tried it as an accessory.
Yeah, maybe it's better to have us like we kind of decided with like a Three Musketeers. A fun size is a better portion of Three Musketeers,
or even like a frozen version of it being better than the way to sell it in the store. Like there's a variation of this that I bet could be like wildly popular.
We're really setting low expectations for this flake bar. So is that your history?
That's my history.
Okay, so let's get into tasting the flake. So like we said, the wrapper of these things, it looks pretty good. It's very sleek. It's kind of like a Virginia Slim. Which is, for all the kids listening, the coolest cigarette.
It's got a really great effect on the lettering with the gold shading, and it shines.
I told you, it gets points for elegance with this wrapper. It is pretty nice, and it's very Wonka. Even the Cadbury font looks Wonka as hell.
Yeah, it's very Wonka-y.
Purple, yellow, shiny.
These are all words. Okay, so you ready to open this thing up?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Our
first flake, you and me, Beto.
Oh my God.
Okay, it looks really dry.
It looks dehydrated.
It looks like somebody cut up an ent.
These are ent bites.
Oh my God.
It looks like a stick of cinnamon.
Yeah.
Do they put that wood grain on purpose?
It really does look like it. And like this looks like the vines from Stranger Things.
But I like that because not every bar is the same.
This smells really good, though.
Oh, yeah.
This smells very good.
Super
Oh,
chocolatey.
wow. Super chocolatey.
A great
And
chocolate.
you said there's no chocolate on it?
No.
No, there's not a layer of chocolate. It's just like milk chocolate, like a bar of just straight milk
It
chocolate.
just looks so dusty, and
They should call it Dusty.
in America they call it
Yeah,
dusty.
they call it Dusties.
What is this manufacturing process that it looks like this?
That's the secret. We'll never know.
It's so haphazard.
It is. This is a chaotic piece of candy. I'm really freaked out right now.
Like, I bet if we put our 3 bars together, not one of them looks the same. They're all
Yeah.
Yeah.
very different.
These are like snowflakes.
Flakes falling from the thing.
Falling from the vat of
whatever.
better formed chocolate. So we've smelled it. It smells good. You ready to bite into this thing?
I'm ready.
All right, let's try the flake. Whoa.
Very crumbly.
Initial bite was softer than I expected. It's flake like a powdered chocolate flake. It's not flake like
Yeah, like flake,
like a wafer flake.
paint flake. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, it's not wafer at all.
No, I was expecting wafer.
Yeah, you're right. It gets very powdery once you bite into it.
It gets powdery, but it kind of melts almost immediately.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
It really is mouthy. It takes your takes your breath away.
Yeah.
And if there's one poll quote for the Flake Factory, it'll take your breath away. Yeah, you're drinking water because it really sort of,
strong.
it's kind of overwhelming.
Yeah.
It's good. Like, this is a pretty good piece of chocolate, but it's very, it's intense because it's not
dominant,
like
yeah.
biting into a chocolate bar. It's almost like grabbing raw candy
Yeah.
ingredients and shoving it into your mouth.
It is. It's got kind of a cinnamony,
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a natural
maybe
taste to it, right?
Yeah, fruity. I don't know what I'm getting there.
It's pretty good, but it is just a piece of chocolate in the end of the day. The texture is the gimmick.
Yeah, I've never had chocolate like this.
Yeah, I am getting that cinnamoniness. It's weird.
Yeah,
is
cinnamony, maybe a little zesty. I don't know. Something's
I
going
don't know
on at
what
the end
that
there.
is.
As I'm biting it, I'm realizing that
That's the blood of the end.
I might like this more than Hershey's when it comes to just like a milk bar, like a milk chocolate bar.
One day we should do after we do a Hershey's episode and a Cadbury Dairy Milk episode. We should have a head-to-head episode.
American Revolution style.
We'll call it the episode of 1776. It'll be episode 1776.
Oh yeah.
And that's only like 1770 more. But yeah, it is a tough call because I know like the British candy connoisseur and British people in general do not like the Hershey, because like Hershey's is like standard American chocolate. Cadbury's like standard British chocolate.
Yeah.
They do not like the Hershey's. They prefer the Cadbury.
Right.
So I would be curious to see like which one I like, because I do like a standard Hershey bar, as like gross and kind of cheap as it is. I like it.
Yeah.
Like they prefer a standard Cadbury bar, not this, right?
No. They prefer Cadbury chocolate over Hershey's
Got it.
chocolate.
Okay, yeah.
So I'd be curious to see how we, the cross section of America feel about the chocolate. It's good though.
It is very good.
Kind of a miss for me.
How so?
I'm not into the powdery.
Right.
It kind of overwhelms, and then that aftertaste. I don't know. It's
With
not
the
something I
cinnamon?
normally associate with chocolate. Like there's like a cinnamoniness in like Mexican chocolate.
Yeah.
But this
That's
is
what it
slightly
is.
different.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. It kind of reminded me a little bit of like the abuelita thing, because
Yeah.
this came from in roots in drinking chocolate, which is abuelita.
Yeah.
You know what? This is like an attempt to solidify drinking chocolate. That's what this feels
Yeah.
like to me.
That's absolutely a good.
That is
Yeah.
Yes, that is exactly what this
Yeah.
is. I cut it open just to see. It kind of, when you cut it, it kind of like smooths everything. But there's,
Can you tell how old it is by counting the rings?
oh my god, this is from 1776. Where did you get this, and how much was it? You got it at World Market.
Yeah, World Market. I want to say it was $1.79 if I remember correctly.
Not that bad for imported chocolate.
Yeah.
For the real deal Irish brand.
If I
a Cadbury
I know, that's
brand.
great.
If I remember correctly, it was that. I'll get back to you.
Your decimal point is off by
Yeah.
2. It was $179 each. So we'll write down 0 to 5 cavities, 5 being the greatest.
All right.
Okay, so we'll write this down so we will not be influenced by each other's number. Beto was very quick, which I know he's most decisive when he doesn't like something. Okay, are we all locked in?
Yeah.
Okay, who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay, Greg, what do you give this out of 5 cavities?
I think this is a strong chocolate taste. I think this beats Hershey for me because it just tastes more raw. It's just like, and the crumbliness is an extra texture,
Okay.
which I really do like. I like the feel of it. And it's not too much. Like the taste is very dominant. It's a very strong taste, but there's not so much of this little stick here that I'm like, I can only eat half today. Like it's really good. I can see why they want to make half of it and put it in ice cream. Why you wouldn't put a whole one in ice cream. But just based on taste alone and the texture, I'm going to give it a 3.9.
Wow.
I love how you held it up Olympic judge style.
Look.
Boo! Racist!
Go back to England or whatever. Go back to English Town.
A 3.9 that's quite
good.
high. That's very high. I'll go next.
I'll go. Let me go.
Okay.
Because we'll end on a good note.
Greg, I think he's going to give it a 5.
I wasn't into it. The texture is interesting, but kind of gimmicky.
Okay.
It's a total gimmick.
Yeah, it's a total gimmick. That aftertaste was like, it didn't know what it wanted to be. I wasn't into it. I gave it a 1.5.
Wow, that's surprisingly low.
Way too mouthy.
Spit it up. Spit it up right now.
He's saying this off microphone. He wants to deport this candy.
There's a reason we fought for our independence, and this is it.
So we can eat Hershey's chocolate. What did you say about mouth? You said something about
It's really mouthy, like just overwhelms the mouth.
Yeah, it's almost best in little bites, I feel like. Because the first bite I took was, as you know, I go full Carl's Jr. commercial when I eat anything.
Oh, yeah. It's
dripping.
pornographic. Eyes are rolling behind your head, yeah.
I put on my Daisy Dukes just to eat this. But I took a huge bite of it, and when it kind of melted down, it did sort of like, oh my God, like my throat almost closed up.
Yeah. I think this would be best enjoyed with a chaser. Maybe like a cool milk or something.
Yeah. I'm curious to see it as an accessory now, and it makes sense that it goes with ice cream.
Maybe if you crush it up and mix it into like warmed up milk, maybe that's how I would
Yeah. Someone should invent that.
Let's reverse engineer this thing.
Let's make a chocolate soda. Let's put it in our Coke, guys.
So for me, I think it's all in the gimmick of the texture. I think that's 100% the appeal of this candy, because I'm sure it tastes exactly like a dairy milk. It's just a different, because it's just the overflow. So it's just a different shape and whatever of it. The flavor's fine. It's good chocolate. When I kind of just picked at it right now, it's sort of crumbled apart into a bunch of pieces. So this
Would you say Flakes? Go ahead.
Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? How do you say it obliterated? Yeah, it obliterated. So that kind of made me think, like, if you go to like Menchie's or like a frozen yogurt place where you put your own toppings on things, if there was like a bin of Flake, that wouldn't be bad. I wouldn't pick it, but it wouldn't be a bad thing to offer.
For the losers to grab when they're there.
You know, like the dumb British people who come in thinking, why don't I still own this land? But it just wasn't it's kind of just a piece of chocolate.
Right.
So I'm going to give it a 2.
Okay.
Whoa.
Because it's still good and I love chocolate. I'm a chocolate boy.
Wow, I feel it's low for a chocolate boy.
It wasn't anything. It's almost like how you guys feel about Three Musketeers. It's kind of boring.
Okay.
Like it really is all in that texture and the flakiness of it.
Okay.
It's good. There's no denying it's a good piece of chocolate, but it's just a piece of chocolate.
Well, you explain that to our British listeners then, that you're spitting on Cadbury's grave.
I'd be interested to go down this road with the 99s and try the different flavors.
Me too.
We'll have a variance episode where, I don't know, I have never... Like, seeing a flake in America is rare. I mean, unless you're in Hollywood, am I right? But I couldn't even imagine that there was varieties of this candy bar that I've seen in like 3 stores in my whole life.
Right.
We're going to England.
Come on, guys.
Field trip.
Just like I'm curious about the other styles of flake, I might stop on my way home and try a dairy milk because I want to see how different the two are. They probably don't turn to powder, but like is it as strong a taste?
It's probably more texture like to a Hershey, akin to a Hershey bar.
Right.
But I would imagine the flavor is exactly the same as this.
So for the uninitiated, a dairy bar?
A dairy milk.
A dairy milk.
That's just like the Cadbury standard, like a Hershey's bar, but for Cadbury.
Yeah.
Got it. All right.
Yeah.
Also, there's this rock, and I want to tell you. I'll tell you later. It's in Massachusetts.
All right.
Or is it? Where is the Rock of Gibraltar? Not the Rock of Gibraltar. Where's the Plymouth Rock?
Plymouth Rock? I think it's in
Where's
Massachusetts.
the rock right now? We might have a pilgrim listener.
Yeah.
Our Amish
Yeah,
listeners.
the famous electrical loving pilgrim and Amish listeners of ours. Maybe we
They're
have
listening
some.
on giant headphones in a barn while their dad's building a house or something.
Well, I've been looking at the stats, and we have a big Pennsylvania Dutch fan base that's been listening to us.
Specifically in barns.
Yeah, they've been sending in requests. They want us to try this hot new candy, raspberry.
Fly away, pigeon.
I've been getting a lot of pigeon mail from our listeners. Okay, so would you be excited to get this on Halloween? Not that you would ever see that. Maybe in England. I don't know what they do for. Maybe on Samhain or whatever they call it in England.
What do those crazy Canadians say?
Halloween apples?
Halloween apples. Yeah, if I Halloween appled.
Halloween appled or smell my feet? What do you say, Greg?
And then you get a turnip full of flakes.
What is going on over there?
When you carve your Halloween turnip, would you be excited to get a satchel of flakes, Greg?
I'd be very excited. Full bar 99. I'd be very, like you said, surprised. But if I got one of these in my Halloween trash bag, I'd be very excited.
What about you?
If past me who didn't know what this was, oh yeah, I'd be like, what is this? This is crazy.
Yeah.
But now,
And then
now that you were a
me,
man,
future me went to pass me and said, "Don't do it."
Don't do it. It's British. Put it down. And I got to tell you about the Beatles, too.
That new sound. You're the one about the rock.
hey, The Rock, it's your cousin Marvin The Rock. I only for the fact of like, oh my God, there's an imported candy bar in my Halloween bag.
Where am I Halloween apple?
I think I made a left turn in Manitoba. I'd be excited just because it would be so weird.
Yeah. One of these a year isn't bad.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yep.
Yeah, these are the two reviews. One of these a year isn't bad, and it'll take your breath away. But parentheses for reference, not in a good way.
Exactly.
The way drowning does.
But yeah, I'd be excited just because it's imported. It's hard to find around here, and it's so weird and novel.
Yeah.
I would be excited about it.
Oh no, did I pick another novelty candy? Oh no.
Oh, did Greg do exactly what we want him to do in this episode?
I played into everyone's hand. Oh no.
Okay, so now that we've talked about these, we've got a game for everybody.
Oh, it's my favorite part.
This is called What's in Melissa's Instacart?
Oh.
This is the one. So Melissa, our sister wife,
Yes.
she looked up, according to Instacart, what are the 5 states that purchase the most candy on Instacart and the 5 states that purchase the least candy on Instacart. They aren't ranked. This isn't a ranking.
Yeah,
this
no.
is just top 5, bottom 5. So she wrote them down. I do not know them. I told you to, like I said beforehand, so we could have them all written down when we came in today. So the top 5, and I have the answers here that I have not looked
Okay.
at. I am not privy
Yep.
to.
Okay.
So do you want to do top 5 first or bottom 5 first?
Let's do bottom 5. I'm not cheating. I have a text open for Daniel. I'm just writing them down in this text.
So who wants to go first? You want to go, Greg?
I'll go first. For the least, right?
The least. No particular order, only these are the bottom 5.
Okay. Basically, I can only name 10 states, so I had to just put them on one side or the other. I'm least. Okay, here are mine. For no particular reason other than, I don't know, Alaska.
Oh, that's good. I forgot about Alaska.
Stealing that
Everyone
one.
forgets about Alaska. New York,
Okay.
Maryland,
Okay.
Tennessee,
Okay.
and Mississippi.
Okay. Alaska, not that many people are there.
I feel like I looked up dry states so people would be eating candy, and I also
Right,
looked up
right.
states where it's legal, marijuana is legal.
Good point. Good point.
And I kind of just from there mixed and matched and kind of went everywhere.
Okay. Well, my bottom, I put Wyoming.
Okay.
Just because there's nobody who lives in Wyoming. There's like 12 people in Wyoming. I put Oregon because it kind of feels like people in Oregon are like, I don't eat candy.
Right.
I drink coffee that's spilled down from Washington.
I drink candy flavored energy drinks.
Yeah.
Tea.
I don't see Oregon people eating a lot of candy. And then I put Maine because it feels very cold and people don't want cold candy.
Right.
That was my thinking of that. And then I put Alabama and Louisiana because they're hot. They're the opposite.
Right.
And all the candy there probably melts
Right. That's
by
good.
the time the Instacart gets there.
Okay, that's good reasoning.
What about you?
Yeah, what are the states you can remember real
I
quick?
didn't do my homework.
My dog made my candy, now he's got to go to the hospital.
He stands up and did you realize you don't have pants on either?
Oh, God. I'm going to choose Alaska. This is the bottom, right?
The bottom.
Alaska, because I stole it from Greg.
Ironic that Alaska is on the top of all the states.
Oh.
Thank you, Daniel.
I'm also like thinking the South too, so I'm gonna go with Alabama. I'm gonna go Hawaii because
Okay.
it's expensive.
Oh, that's
Right,
good. That's
yes.
good. You definitely won't find a flake there.
Yeah.
No. And then
Unless it's a coconut flake.
let's go with Nevada.
Okay.
No particular reason. They got a lot of like.
They're too busy gambling.
Yeah, exactly.
Should we hear the bottom 5 now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to open it up, fold this over so I don't see the top. So the least. We've got North Carolina,
Okay.
Florida.
Ooh,
I was going to
Florida.
pick
Me too.
I was going to pick Florida because it seems like it's sticky and wet and everything's flooded and they're all like boycotting Disneyland.
I would have picked Florida, except I blocked it from my mind.
I don't recognize them as a
Yeah.
state. We've got New York.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Really?
Which is-
That's
that's a-
bottom?
That's surprising to me.
Because they don't need to Instacart it because they could just go there. Because they're always outside at bodegas or whatever. So I'll just pick up candy when I'm.
The bodega cat will bring me
Yeah.
a candy bar. They don't have Instacart. They have bodega cats that bring them. Iowa and Connecticut.
Is Iowa just because of population?
I would assume.
Yeah.
Connecticut is kind of surprising to
Yeah.
me. That feels like a candy place.
So did anyone get any? Because I got New
You
York.
got New York. I didn't get any.
Nope. Alaska, Alabama, Hawaii, Nevada. And I didn't have a fifth.
I put Alaska twice.
And for my 5th one, I'm protesting and I will say Puerto Rico because I believe they should be a state. Okay, so now our top 5.
Okay.
What do you say, Greg?
California, Kansas, Nevada,
Oh,
Opposite of you.
Utah, and Arizona.
Okay.
that's interesting.
Any particular reasons?
The dry state, legal marijuana, and I just live in California. And just like I mixed them around and it was just randomly kind of like that one and that one and that one.
Well, I picked California and New York because of population. I
Right.
thought just by sheer volume,
Yeah.
there would be enough candy. I picked Massachusetts because so many candy comes from Massachusetts
Oh,
historically that I thought like they all still eat candy, like it's part of their balanced diet to eat candy. Illinois because
Right.
everything comes back to Chicago. And Ohio because all the people I've met that are from Ohio, I feel like eat a lot of candy. What about you?
All right, so
What
I
did you come up with in the last 2 minutes?
Yeah,
I
hearing
worked
us
really
talk.
hard like a week ago, so before you even thought of this game. I chose California because of population.
Yeah.
That kind of was on the same. I also chose Illinois because the
It all
candy
comes back
mecca.
to Chicago.
Then I went like Minnesota. Minnesota State Fair. They seem very
Okay.
foodie.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
It gets cold, you know. You
And
want
bad food, like junk food.
Yeah,
they eat.
yeah, junky, super
Yeah,
junky
these
food.
junky people.
And in the same token, Michigan and Wisconsin.
Oh, Michigan.
Okay, yeah.
It
That
just seemed like really they love their food.
cold, you gotta eat fried flake bars.
Yeah.
So the answers for the most are Utah, Idaho,
Idaho.
Alaska.
What the heck?
There's nothing else to do, I guess. You just get a bunch of
Whoa.
candy. Montana and Washington.
Way off.
Damn.
I
Way off.
I don't know why. That does Alaska. There's literally like 14 people,
And they
in-
all eat candy all the time.
Wow.
They only use Instacart for candy because they kill their own deer or whatever. I don't know how California is not
Yeah.
like. There's so many people in
Yeah.
California. I don't, and so many people use Instacart in
Wait,
California.
what was the first one again?
Utah.
Utah. Okay.
You got it.
Wow.
Damn.
You got it.
What made you choose Utah?
Dry
Yeah, it's a dry state.
Salt. Yeah, Salt Lake City. So the Mormons who can't have
So they're over
alcohol
there
and caffeine.
nibbling away.
God,
Yeah.
someone get me another flake bar.
Yeah, they're constantly robbing candy shops.
Yeah.
You can't open a candy shop. It's like a prohibition over there.
So Melissa had a bonus question.
Bonus.
Oh, it's a bonus you want? Well, you're in luck. Melissa wrote us a bonus question
Thank
to
you,
go with
Melissa.
this game. I
Thanks,
almost opened the
Melissa.
answer. Let's play this Jeopardy style.
Yeah.
Okay, so the bonus question here. What percentage of parents with kids under 18 said they would absolutely or probably sneak some of their kids' Halloween candy haul?
This feels directly related to you.
Let's see. In my experience, that would be 50% of parents.
Yeah, is your son named Daniel?
Do you think your mom ever gave your dad some from your haul? You ever should like grab the handful?
No, she stole from his haul, too.
You and your dad have the same problem.
What percentage of parents, kids under 18? I'm going to say 80% of parents do this.
Yeah, I was gonna go high too. I'm gonna say like 75. Yeah, 75.
So I want to say 100, but obviously that's not going to happen. So I'm going to say 95%.
Hell yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Of
there's
course they're
some...
taking their candy.
Dude, they get
It's
taxed.
our candy.
They get taxed.
Yeah.
I'm very anti-parent on this stance, but let's see what the answer
We're
is.
pro-orphan.
Whoa, 53%.
What?
I was almost right when I made my first joke answer.
my
So I guess
God.
who was you were closest.
I was closest,
but you went
yeah,
over.
But
so.
I went
Who
over.
are these weak parents not taking their kids' candy?
Shh.
Unacceptable.
These millennials, they need to go walk all over their parents.
They don't even take their candy. You know what they do? They give them a trophy for participating instead. We did pretty poorly on that game.
Yeah, thanks, Melissa.
Thanks for making us feel bad. So that's been our Flake episode of Candy is Dandy. The plug this time, I'm going to say you send us a candy game, listener.
Oh,
Email
that'd
us,
Oh,
be great.
candyisdandypodcast@gmail.com. Send us or Instagram, Candy is Dandy Pod, Twitter, Candy is Dandy if you haven't been banned by Elon Musk for making a joke about something. Yeah, send us in your game and we'll play it. I swear to God, we'll play it.
Swear to God, we can't help it. We'll play
Don't
it.
make our sister wife Melissa come up with a new game. Or okay, rather, don't make me forcibly make her come up with games the night before.
I want someone to send us like a Saw game. Like one of us has like our head in our box and like the other person has to be like, I can't
like
eat
it.
another bite. And you like not willing to eat another bite of something you hate. I can't have another Sour Patch Kid. My head.
So you'd like to play a game. So yeah, happy rest of January.
Yeah.
We'll see. Thank for taking a little trip to the islands, Mon, with us.
Yeah, man.
We'll see you in a couple weeks for a Valentine's Day episode.
What'd you get me? Do you like me?
Yeah, I got you. I'm cheating on your wife. So, yeah.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Take it easy, man.